beta, pathetic, low value, chump, and actually increases estrogen. Not only does jealousy over other men increase your estrogen, but it depletes you of testosterone. Let me explain how it does that. Okay, thing you have to understand about jealousy, period, is jealousy is a feminine behavior. It is a female behavior. Make no mistake about it. It is a feminine trait, not a masculine trait, but a feminine trait. Whenever you see somebody out there getting jealous, 99.9% of the time, it is a woman, because instinctually, women evolved to basically compete against each other, to manipulate each other, right? They weren't like guys where we're out there, we had the burden of performance, we had to kind of prove ourselves with our brawn, right? We had to like kill like a lion and bring food home and all this other stuff. Women didn't have to do that. The way women survived through the centuries really is through manipulation. And through that manipulation over the centuries, basically what evolved in their DNA is jealousy, right? Basically being jealous of another woman who might be have higher social status than she does. And this is why even to this very day, no different than our caveman days, women are still jealous of each other. They're still constantly manipulating each other. They're still constantly sabotaging each other, right? How many times you see these women, like I even teach you women the limited amount of female followers that I have, that hey, your girlfriends are not to be trusted. Your female friends that you think are your bestie that never hurts you, they're not to be trusted. They're not to be trusted because you guys are constantly sabotaging each other, constantly competing against each other, and constantly getting jealous over each other. So the thing you have to understand about jealousy is it is a feminine trait. When a girl starts going, oh, look at that stupid hair. Where'd you get your nails done? Look at that CVS makeup. Look at those Kmart pants, and she just starts cutting her down like that, not even knowing the girl. You see girls, they don't even know each other. Girl starts cutting each other down. She's just basically demonstrating she's very, very deep in her feminine energy, right? She sees another girl trying to manipulate her social status to basically go higher than hers, right? And so it is super duper pathetic when I see a guy who claims to be a man, claims to be a male, right? Getting jealous over another guy. Getting jealous over another guy's success, whether he has more money than him, drives nicer cars than him, he is more attractive than he is, he's taller than he is, he's more jacked than he is, whatever the case may be. When you see a guy getting jealous over another guy, and you know what? You might have felt this too at some point in your life. You might have felt like a little bit of jealousy over another guy's success. Like, hey, how come he gets that girl? How come I can't get that girl? And you might have felt like the need to try to cut that guy down, the need to try to bring him down to your level so that you could get above him, right? Not even realizing you're doing it. When you're going through that type of emotion, make no mistake, you're stuck in your feminine energy, because your masculine polarity, right? The masculine side of you basically would be like, no, compete against this guy. Who is he? I could do just as good, if not better, right? Your masculine side, right? Assuming you've got testosterone pumping through your veins, would be like, hey, I want to go compete against this guy. I want to go show what I'm worth, right? It's like your natural male instincts would kick in. That natural male burden of performance that we all have as men, right? Because as men, we have a burden of performance. We have to perform in society. Otherwise, we have no value, right? That's how the society works. If we don't perform as men, we have no value in society. This is why when you see guys who are like homeless on the street, they're basically invisible to society because society doesn't see value in them. They're not performing in life. Obviously, they're on the street. They're panhandling, right? I'm not saying anything against homeless people. I mean, everyone hits a bad patch, right? But there are a lot of like homeless people who are like constantly homeless, and society doesn't see value in them, right? Because they're no longer performing. Whereas women, they don't have that burden of performance, right? Women do not have a burden of performance. Only men have that. It comes from evolution, right? Only men have a burden of performance. So when you see another guy doing better than you, your natural instincts, assuming you are in your masculine frame, you've got strong, healthy testosterone pumping through your veins, you would be like, hey, that guy's doing great, but you know what? I want to compete. I want to see if I could do better, right? I want to see if I could give him a run for his money. I want to go out there and perform. I want to go show what I'm worth. I want to go prove myself, right? That would be your masculine frame. If you were stuck in your feminine frame, instead of going out there and wanting to compete against him and prove yourself and show your worth and earn, right? Earn what you're worth. Instead of that, you'd be like, look at that guy. Who's he with this girl? Look at his hair. Look at those shoes. How'd he get her? This guy's so ugly. And he's even fat. I'm in better shape than him. Gross. What is she doing with him? He's, ugh. You know, and you just turn into a little girl, right? You would start hating on him. You know, basically you start getting jealous. No different than a woman. That means, you know what? You're stuck in your feminine frame, right? You have more estrogen pumping through your veins than you do testosterone. If you had more testosterone, your masculine frame would not allow such behavior. You know, the masculine side of you would be like, stop acting like a little bitch, a little pussy, and get out there and compete. And do the work, right? Take on your burden of performance. But when you let yourself get jealous over another guy, you don't want that burden of performance. You want to remove yourself of that responsibility. Just like a woman. You don't want that responsibility. You don't want to have to prove yourself. You'd rather just hate on this guy, cut him down, make fun of him, and get your little 2-second dirty high. Because that's what women do, right? When they cut down another girl, while they're cutting her down, they're getting their little 2-second dirty high, right? Little 2-second dirty high. And really, you know, you're hurting yourself more than anyone when you do that. You're not really, you know, you think you're cutting the girl down. Really, you're cutting yourself down, because everything is one big self-projection. All of the ugly traits you don't like about yourself, you see in others when you try to cut somebody down like that. Because when you're cutting somebody down, really, you're cutting them down for the things you don't like about yourself. Think about that, you know, for like these guys who think they're getting their 2-second dirty high. And you see this play out, you know, in the real world as well as online. Especially these days with social media, see this play out constantly online. You know, only online, these guys even sink lower into even lower little bitch frame, and they don't even link to their real social media. They're not even man enough to do that. Like, they didn't even have a strong enough father figure to teach them to be man enough to stand by their words and have the courage to put their real, like, face out there and stand by what they say. If you believe in it that much, if you said it, stand behind it, right? I put my real face out there. I put my real social media out there. I link to everything. Why? Because I was raised properly. My dad, I had a strong dad in my life. He taught me to be strong. He's like, hey, if you're gonna say it, son, you better stand behind that. Better stand behind that shit. Don't cower like a little girl. Stand behind it. You said it, stand in front of it. It saddens me that so many of these guys were raised so piss poorly. Like, even the people who hate on me, like some of the guys who hate on me, it just, they think they're getting a 2-second dirty high, but I'm just like, wow. I don't even look at them. I look at who raised them. I'm like, dude, your parents failed you. Your parents failed you. You can't even stand by what you say. It's like, yeah, you want to talk shit to me, but you can't stand behind it. You can't even put your face in front of your profile. You have to use a fake account. You can't even stand behind what you say. You don't even have the guts to do that. You don't even have the balls. You don't even have the courage to stand by your words. Pathetic. I used to have a great job with a Fortune 100 company. I risked it all to put my face out there. I've always told guys, like, anybody who gets involved in pickup and red pill, and you start teaching this stuff online, say goodbye to ever having, like, a real job ever again. Say goodbye. Even if you try to delete everything, they will find it. Just say goodbye to ever having, like, you're on your own from this point out. The second you put out one red pill video or one pickup video or one infield pickup video of yourself, done. You're never going to work for any of these companies again, like any good companies. Right? My corporate career is over. You know why it's over? Because I put my real face out there. Right? I put my real face out there. I stand behind my words. My dad taught me to do that. He's like, if you can't say it and you have to hide, don't say it. It's like, but if you have the balls to say it, you better have the balls to stand in front of your words. If you're going to talk the talk, You gotta walk the walk, right? That's what my dad taught me. You're gonna talk the talk, son. You gotta walk the walk. Problem is, a lot of these guys, offline and online, especially online, that hide behind these fake, faceless YouTube accounts or any other social media where they have to hide their face. They weren't raised properly. They think they're getting their 2-second dirty high when they try to cut somebody down, whether it's me or another content creator. They think they're getting their 2-second dirty high, but what they don't realize is we see beyond that. Guy like me, I've been teaching male self-development for over 20 years. Been teaching psychology for over 20 years. I see right behind what they're doing. It's like, you think you're getting your 2-second dirty high, but all I'm seeing is the product of failed parenting. That's what I'm seeing. It's like, when you sit here and you try to attack like my shirt, my watch, whatever it is, my hair, you think you're getting to me, but it's not. Because all I'm seeing is this is a product of failed parenting. This is a product of a weak father figure. This is a product of a single mother. This is a product of parents who failed you. Right? Because it's very hard to AMOG somebody who's like been doing pickup and game in venues for 2 decades. It's good luck with that. I mean, I've heard it all. I've heard every insult, everybody, like every put down you could possibly think of. Nothing bothers me anymore. I'm still doing games, still doing pickup. Make no mistake, guys. Male jealousy comes from one place, and one place only. Okay? That one place is your feminine frame. Whenever you feel yourself getting jealous over another guy, it's because you're stuck in your feminine frame. It's because you are allowing more estrogen. You're allowing your estrogen levels to increase, while you, by your own hand, deplete your own testosterone levels. A lot of guys ask me, like, especially guys I grew up with, they're kind of blown away, given where we were, given where we grew up in San Francisco. They're like, how did you get this far? Right? How did you get this far in life? How were you able to afford this? How are you able to do this? And I tell them that whenever I saw guys who were more successful than me, I never hated on those guys. I just wanted to learn from them. I didn't have any, even guys that I didn't necessarily like, I was like, why is this guy doing better than me? What can I learn from this guy? I've always taken that approach. Instead of cutting the guy down, I'd always be like, what can I learn from this guy? How can I apply that in my own life to better myself, right? Because that's part of being in your masculine frame, right? You're willing to take on that burden of performance. Unlike guys who want to sink in the little bitch behavior and just start cutting the guy down for why they're not successful. Like, oh, look at him. He probably cheated the system and all this other shit, because they want to relieve themselves of that masculine burden of performance, right? And it's something that you do when you're weak, when you don't have the balls to do the work, and you just want to kind of just piss on everything. Ask yourself, when you see a guy who's doing better than you, who's more jacked than you, taller than you, more successful, drives nicer cars, lives in bigger houses, dates more beautiful women, do you look at that guy and go, what can I learn from him? Or do you look at that guy and go, F him, man, screw that dude? That dude is ugly anyway. He's fat anyway. Oh, he's probably a complete piece of shit. Do you make all excuses in your head, or do you look at that guy and just go, hey man, what can I learn from this guy? How can I better myself? Okay, how can I prove what I'm worth? And how can I put my own stamp on society? How can I leave my own legacy behind? Because at some point in your life, no matter who you are, you're going to leave some type of legacy. Okay? You're going to leave some type of legacy for the next generation, or if you have kids, especially if you have kids or any family members who are going to live beyond you, you're going to leave some type of legacy. So you have to ask yourself, what type of legacy do you want to leave? Do you want to leave a legacy of a guy who was like a chump, complete little bitch, all he did was cut people down, troll, blame shift, finger point, never tried to look in the mirror at what he was doing wrong, was always judging other people, worried about what everyone else was doing instead of looking and worrying about his own backyard? What type of legacy do you want to leave? Or do you want to leave a legacy where, you tried, even if you didn't succeed, you tried your ass off and you never quit? right? And you focused 100% of your time and energy on doing what you needed to do versus worrying about what everyone else is doing. You know, it saddens me, man. It saddens me when I see people like they're so worried about everybody else versus themselves. You know, it's like I've seen people like leave like paragraphs of hate in my comments that probably took them a good hour. I'm not even kidding. I've seen some paragraphs where I'm like, must have taken this person at least an hour to write all of this. I'm like, do you realize you just could have taken that hour and just spent it on yourself versus on me, who you don't even know? I'm just on YouTube. Why are you worried about a pickup artist? Why don't you spend that hour, you know, with your animals or your family or your parents, or go to church or something, find God, you know, go do something productive with that hour. Why are you spending it on me? You know, I mean, it's like, where are your priorities? I would never waste a second of my day doing something like that. Never. You know, but then again, this is why I got to where I was in life. You know, this is why I reached pretty much every single goal I've wanted to in life. You know, I'm just constantly out there doing the work. I don't worry about other people. I don't blame shit. I don't point fingers. I just look at how I could get better. You know, I'm super competitive that way. I'm not worried about hating on other guys. I love seeing other guys doing better than me. I love seeing guys more successful than me, because those are just more guys I can learn from. You know, not more guys I could cut down and get my little 2-second dirty high. They're just more guys I can learn from. So just understand where male jealousy is coming from, right? You could either, you know, when you see a guy who's doing better than you, you could either use that to empower you, or you could use it to disempower you. You could either use it to put you even more in your masculine frame, or you could use it to put you even more in your feminine frame. The choice is yours. Okay? And with that said, I'm going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Don't forget to destroy that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Very important you guys subscribe to my channel, because it tells YouTube that you are digging my content, you love it, and you want me to produce more of it. So please make sure you're subscribed as well. You're going to be learning a ton from my channel. Okay, you're going to be learning a ton. So make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you're sharing my coaching videos with like-minded friends of yours. Okay, so we could really start to get this knowledge out there and start helping other guys. So make sure you're sharing my coaching videos as well. And for you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill content I'm teaching you guys even further, the best way to do that is by becoming a premium subscriber of my premium Alpha Male Secrets channel, which I am hosting on a private platform away from YouTube. And the reason why I'm doing that is to obviously protect my content, and obviously offer something more premium for guys who want to access all of my more high-end lessons, so to speak, right? And the first month is only $1 for the entire first month of premium Alpha Male Secrets content from me. So this is the absolute best way to support my work. And if you want to get signed up, it's just $1 for the entire first month of premium content. And all you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.